First of all, say Emily Bashim Mashal Bashim Bakakwadash. The one honestly the elders and apostles, a great millstone, GMS, who do rule and teach well. Right? Those are men to learn the truth from. Honestly, brothers out there across the four corners. Right? Talk about you, brothers that ain't great millstone. Right? You sincere brothers out there who are affiliates, real affiliates that are out there pushing this truth out there week in, week out. Diving into sirach, the 20th chapter, because I went to like the whole book of Proverbs because that was something that was like a general recommendation. It wasn't a recommendation just to me. It was a general recommendation that, hey, if you're a younger brother, why don't you just go through a proverb a day? You get your video counts up, right? It's good to make videos every day, so that you can just constantly be laboring in this thing, right? Remember, occupy till I come, and then we're occupied. It's like business, has something to do with business. I know that one. I know Yahushua said about my father's business, right? And we're supposed to be followers of Yahushua, right? Disciples under him, followers of him, right? Apostles, right? So yeah, we gotta be like him, right? A person that can be rebuked in the wrong way may be wiser to keep quiet than to speak, right? Know when to talk. And I read this in the KJV, but KJV is a little hard to understand, like the old English, so we'll use the GNT version for now, and maybe we'll go back and forth. But it's much better to rebuke the person than to keep your anger boiled up, right? Admit when you're wrong, and you will avoid embarrassment, right? And this is important for these general life tips, right? You can correct someone and be really like, the wrong way, and you can be like, you may not even really mean to be harsh, but it can come out that way, right? But it's better to rebuke the person than to let strife and things boil up, and things like that. But you shouldn't be angry with your brother regardless. There's ways you deal with your neighbor, with your brother. But I'm not gonna tell brothers how to you know more than me. Admit when you're wrong, and you'll avoid embarrassment, right? And if you're a real man, the truth, man, it should be like you should know this already. If you're a man of the Lord, you should know this already. If you're wrong, hell, when you do something wrong, right? You pray to Most High, have mercy upon me, forgive me, right? Things like that, and you keep it moving, right? Most I said, was he loves those of a contrite heart, and so you shouldn't be like proud and puffed up and brutal and shit. Using force to get a point across is like a castrated man trying to rape a young woman. Some people are thought to be wise because they don't talk much. Others are disliked because they talk too much. Some people keep quiet because they don't have anything to say. Others keep quiet because they know they have the right time to speak, right? That you want to be. There's a precept about that. I'm not going to get it, but it goes into you be a man of few words, roughly paraphrasing. You want to be a man comprehending much but speaking little. Maybe I can find it. So this is sirach 32 and 8. Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue. Right? And this is important. This is brothers call Clark Kent mode. But really it's being subtle, being wise as a serpent, harmless as dove. Yeah, honestly, you could have started the 7th verse, but it's okay. Let thy speech be short. When we do these videos, even, we're not grandstanding or anything like that, Of course, certain brothers' videos are going to be longer than other videos. Well, some videos in general is going to be longer than other videos. Some videos maybe an hour. Some of us may make a video an hour and a half, according to every man's spirit and his measure, what he's talking about, what the Most High gave him to talk about through the Holy Spirit. You get into some of these things with history, it can really be an hour long, and if you're doing 10-minute parts, it can really be 6, 7, 8, 10 parts. I have stuff on my old channel that's like that. Certain things just need a lot. You have a lot to talk about. Like, if you want to break down like Acts, the 10th chapter, I remember that one. That took me a hot minute to, put that all down into a video. Because, I went into that, and then I went into like different histories and things like that. Right, so still in the GNT. Some people, verse 7, a wise person will not speak at until the right moment, but a bragging fool doesn't know when the time is. No one can stand a person who talks too long and will not give others a chance to speak. Right, so we can go switch up and go to the king. Alright. Verse 9. Yeah. There's a sinner that have good success in evil things. That is a gain that's turneth to loss, right? Now, they were trying to make this one go into gambling, right? However, I believe it said something here about gambling. Maybe they switched it up, but when we go into this one and bring it up in relation to America, Babylon the Great, right, which is a nation, closed on me. I have no idea why I did that. Verse 9 is just have good success in evil thing, and is again that's turned to loss, right? So we use this one to go against Babylon the Great, aka America, right? They have good success in evil things, and it's turned to loss. Now, of course, you can argue like, oh, well, law's not made for them, right? So can they really sin? It's like, yeah, because they're just doing what they're naturally supposed to be doing, but the law was never given to them. But in the kingdom, they'll be punished for it, right? And they're actually going to get punished before then with World War III, but then once the kingdom is set up, they're really going to get like some heavy punishment, because all these different nations are not going to like die during World War III. Not every single person, not every single heathen on the planet Sun is going to die during World War III, right? But when they afterwards, every last one of them is going to get like put in slavery, right? All these heathen are going to get put in slavery. And we're not going to kill all of them. We're just going to put them in slavery. They're going to have to work, and whatever go down. So you gotta get put to death. You gotta get that ass beat. You gotta get disciplined. I'll say that we're not advocating for violence. We don't advocate for violence out here. All right. And just so you gotta see that, just in case people want to try to switch and take the video and say, oh. There's a gift that should not profit thee, and there's a gift whose recompense is double. Like us, like bribes and things like that. There is an abasement because of glory. There is that lifted up from his head from a low estate. And that's us, man. There's that buyeth much for little. Right, now I'm talking about the second part. Lifted up his head, growing from the low estate. The Lord can really change things around for you. But it's, talk about certain things, but the receipts are out there, man. You just gotta have that faith, right? And then go into the scriptures, how the Lord saved prophets from death, see them out of peril, save men of the Lord, out of evils, out of death, torture, all kinds of things, man. Well, so many things. Was it Daniel was about to get eaten up by a lion? I think Nebuchadnezzar tried to feed him to lions or something, and then the Most High saved him. I believe it was Daniel. But you got all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's many times they tried to murder, like our people, the wicked our people tried to murder Apostle Paul, and the Lord delivered him out of their hands every time. So, verse 12, there is that buyeth much for a little, and repayeth it sevenfold. Buyeth much, yeah. A wise man buys. I'm gonna go back into the GNT. Yeah, we're just gonna stay in the GNT. We're gonna stay in the GNT today. Sometimes it seems like a real bother can turn out to be a really expensive mistake. When a person with a good judgment speaks, he wants friends. A stupid person, though, can shower compliments on everybody, and it won't help him a bit. If this person gives you something, it won't do any good. It won't be as valuable as he thinks it is. He isn't generous with anything but criticism, which he would shout for the world to hear. If you let do something today, he'll want it back tomorrow. Don't you hate people like that? Right? So, yeah, someone gives you something, he'll think it's more valuable than it actually is, and be on your neck about it. Which, I mean, with us, right? You don't want to be in debt. It's like nobody in the world. You want to get that money, that money back. Now, when it comes to between you and a brother want to do something like that's different, right? And even with that, you don't abuse the brother. You don't abuse each other. Like it says in Galatians, you take heed that you bite not one another, lest you consume one another. So don't do that, right? And that fool will say, nobody likes me, nobody appreciates what I do for them. They'll take what I get them, but they talk about me behind my back. And he's right. He's a constant joke to everyone, right? Talking about this person here, right? Slip of the tongue is worse than slip on the pavement. The wicked will ruin just as suddenly as a person slips and falls, right? We all slipped and fell as children, or tripped on something. We all trip and fall on something from time to time, right? It is sudden. An impolite person is like one of those off-color stories that ignorant people are always telling. Nobody takes a prophet seriously when some fool quotes it at the wrong time. If a person is too good, too poor to afford sin, he can rest without a guilty conscience. You can lose all your self-respect by being reluctant to speak up in the presence of stupidity. If you promise a friend something because you are too bashful to say no, you're needlessly making an enemy, right? Lying is an ugly blot on a person's character, but ignorant people do it all the time. A thief is better than a habitual liar, but both are headed for ruin, right? Because, going off. I mean, it's one of the commandments anyway. Not supposed to be stealing. Lie has no honor, and he lives in constant disgrace, right? Speak wisely and you will get ahead in the world. Foolish people appreciate good sense. They excuse your errors if they like you, so cultivate the soil and reap the harvest. Gifts and bribes make even the wise blind to the truth, prevent them from being honest in their criticism. Wisdom that is not expressed is like a treasure that has been hidden. Both are useless. A person who covers up his foolishness is better than one who keeps his wisdom to himself. Right, so we use that last one. That's good to bring out on highways and byways. That one goes up with. Damn it! I just read it. I read it last camp too. Is it? It's like the first couple verses of Jeremiah or the first couple verses of Isaiah 13. But it goes into Bel is. I think it is Jeremiah 50. Bel is confounded. Bear the standard, right? Stuff like that. You could bring that out because, we're out here bringing forth that standard, saying, hey, Bel is confounded. All your elites of the society, their society is going down, all right? They're not Nothing's being fixed. Shit is a mess, right? We have the EU wanted to do one thing on an issue, that issue being Ukraine. We got America wanting to do something else, and the EU is just doing whatever the fuck they want to do. And we're just kind of standing off to the sidelines. I think they said Trump's in the background just kind of fucking talking about shit. But hey, at the end of the day, there's division, right? Satan against Satan. And, you just gotta wait and see how this thing blows over. And then meanwhile, they got more troops moving to the border, the U.S.-Mexico border, so that's another thing going down. So, hey, who knows, maybe there could be some sort of, some stuff pop off with that. Maybe there could be something that pops off with Russia. Maybe there could be some sort of skirmish with like the EU nations. Maybe they limit it just to skirmishes and ballistic weaponry or something. I don't know, but things are happening. Wars, rumors of wars, and we just gotta wait for that chip to come out and for it to be forced to be made mandatory, and that's gonna be it, right? So, well, more proxies to come forth, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so I wanna say all praise, honor, glory to Allah, Most High once again, and pretty much it. So.